of institutions for giving me this opportunity. Thank you all. And also my gratitude to my institution, MITS Madanpalli, for allowing us to use the resources and implementing this sort of activities. Thank you. So my topic, as I am the I am the first speaker, I'm going to deliver about what are the things that are given under the NEP 2020 umbrella. So this is my presentation flow. I'm going to describe about what is the basically NEP 2020, why it is required, what are the pillars, and they have categories into two divisions basically, because it starts from school education, then how it is going to be implemented for higher education, and what are the other areas to be in focus apart from the regular education practice, how to make it, and basically there will be some challenges. So what will be the challenges in implementing this NEP 2020? So this is about what is NEP 2020. Actually, we during the government of Indira Gandhi, she was the Prime Minister during that time in 1986. They framed a new policy for education that is said to be a national policy on education, which is mentioned for access and equity. So they have decided to give quality education as well as an access to all the people. So primary level people, they have to go for the school because literacy rate was too poor during the period. So in order to maintain all this, to bring quality education and for the improvement of the country, everything, with keeping all this in mind, they have developed this national policy on education. And during 1992, they made some modifications in this NPE based on the need of the need as well as the growth of the nation. And in 2009, it was changed and it was implemented as Right to Education Act. So definitely all the children within the age of 5 or within the age of 10, they have to give compulsory education. That is the Right to Education Act. But during 29th July 2020, the existing government, that is under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they have included NEP 2020, the National Education Policy 2020. Because of the pandemic period, it was not come into the bloom due to several fundings and other problems. They have focused towards quality education. So basically, previously, the education policies were designed that we have to give education. But when after a long duration of years, they have decided simply education will not work out. So we want to focus on quality education. So they decide a vision as well as a framework, and it focuses towards the school education as well as college education. So that is what we are going to discuss in detail about how the vision was designed for school education as well as college education. So why this NEP 2020 is required? What is the need? As I mentioned earlier, the right for education is given, but are we getting quality education, or we are insisting on quality education means it is not up to the mark. So we know what is the population of our country. We have crossed more than 142 crores plus, beating over China. But when compared to our population, our literacy rate is 77%, which is not suitable to the today's trending level. When we are supposed to meet to the global standards, we are still behind. Out of the 77% of literacy rate, 84% male literates and 70% female literates. But when we are speaking about literacy, the percentage is quite far above average, we can say. But what is the thing is, what about the skills? What are the skills gained by the students through this normal education system? So in that things, what happened is the skill development of the students are lacking. And so that we are still at the 16th position overall in the world related to the skills. But when compared to population, we are on the top. But our students who are coming out of this education policy, they don't have that much quality. They are not skillfully rich in all the activities, and the vocational training is also not there. That is the reason why we are there, why people are now insisting towards this NEP 2020. Actually, Professor Kasturi Rangan, he is the director for this NEP 2020. He has designed. He is a recipient of Padma Awards, and he and his team, they have described what are the things that has to be happened after several discussion with all the different levels of people, not only to the people who are educated. They have discussed with all levels of people. They have divided the states into several districts, blocks, and even normal farmers to all the illiterate also they have discussed, and based on this they have created a framework which is said to be as this NEP 2020. So this is the reason why we have to go and why we have to establish this NEP 2020. So on based on this five only, the NEP 2020 was designed. So we can also say it as the pillars of NEP 2020. This five comes into importance. First one is the access, that is the education to all children. Still, few children are not going to the classes, but what is the that is this primary education is missing for them. There is several reasons, because of their economic background, or the schools may be of in some other distance, so they don't have quality education for some reasons. So this is the thing what happens. So this has to be broken out. That is the first and the primary point of NEP 2020. The next thing is equity without any discrimination. So we know very well what is the discrimination that happens in our country so far. So the discrimination depends upon the marks community. So that has to be removed. And also one more thing, they are going to concentrate this equity for male as well as female in some locations, and also giving equal importance to the transgenders and special children's, all those. The quality education is the primary focus of NEP 2020, as discussed earlier. We have to give utmost quality. Normally, whenever we are developing our vision statement of our institution, we will be specifying, definitely a word will be there, meeting the high level standards or quality education or global standards like that. But still now we are trying hard, as the policies what is framed earlier has tied our hands to give this quality education. So this will be definitely will untie our hands to give the quality education. And next thing is affordability. So we know very well what is the situation of the school education. If we want quality education, we have to spend more. This is not possible to all the level of people. So that is the reason why they are going for this affordability, free as well as compulsory education for all the students. So that is the primary motto of this NEP 2020. So all students must be given, and even they are planning for meals, providing meals also. Likewise, what is happening in Tamil Nadu, the other states are trying to follow, and overall, the nation is supposed to follow the same scenario. So whenever, because of the economic factors, the kids are not supposed to go to the schools or whatever it may be. They are sent for some works, because their earning is considered to be as important for their family also. So to avoid all this, free and compulsory education is going to be provided with this NEP 2020. And one more thing is accountability, accounting outcomes into improvement. What is the thing? Because all children will be having of different talents. It is, we have to bring out the talents of each and every student. What happens? What is the continuous improvement of a student from the age of 3 up to the grade 8 or grade 9? What is happening? What is the flow? Where that student is lagging? What is necessary for that student? Everything is trying to be counted. So these are the major are the pillars of NEP 2020. So as I mentioned earlier, we are going to see initially about the school education. After that, the reformations that are going to be happen in the college education. School education, they have listed a list of contents because this becomes the primary content. These school kids are going to be the stakeholders of our higher education. That is the reason why they have given more importance to school education. The base must be strong, so that is the reason why this much focus is given. So they are supposed to focus on the foundation of learning and how the literacy and numbers, uh, the foundation is given. So, and one more thing, they are very much specific about the dropout rates and framing the curriculum, training the teachers, upskilling the skilling programs has to be given, and equitable and inclusive education for all. And resource utilization, that is also one thing, because few schools, they may be affluent with funds. They might have some very good resources that can be shared within the certain region. That is also a policy that they are going to implement with this NEP 2020. So this is an interesting part related to the new pedagogical and curricular structure. So this is the structure what nowadays we are following. That is the previous academic structure. You can see in this diagram the left side. So this is the basic education. The basic education for a normal children, it starts from age 6. So this is not related to the private institution. This is completely related to the government norms. So from the age of 6, that children is supposed to admitted in the first class, and up to 10th grade that the student is studying, and after that level higher secondary. So this is the normal education, that is 10 plus 2. Now it is divided. So the foundation course starts at the 3 years itself. Normally the the people who are good in economic situation, they will be sending their schools for pre-KG or something else in the 2.5 years or 3 years itself. So this is the thing what happens, and it makes compulsory by the government itself that at the age of 3, the children are to be brought to the Anganwadi or Valvika, like that. So up to 3 to 6, that is pre-KG, LKG, UKG, that becomes compulsory instead of starting from first standard. So this is the foundational course. Then after that, they are giving the name as preparatory course from the class 3 to 5. This comes at 8 to 11. Then come to the middle class, that is 6 to 8 at the age of 11 to 14, and the secondary at the age of 14 to 8 from class 9 to 12. So this is a new structure. Instead of 10 plus 2, they have divided into the foundational course. That is here, it comes around 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So this is the new pedagogical and curricular structure. Yeah, it means the entire nation will be following a common scenario, so that all the students will be having equal level of tension and equal education level. So this is followed. And one more thing, why they are very much insisting about three at the age of 3 years itself, they have to go to the school is, upon several research, the team has analyzed that within the age of 6, a child can grasp more things. The brain will be searching for ready to accepting new things. That is the reason why the strong base has to be given at this age itself. So they have changed the normal academic structure into this structure. So what are the other things? That is early childhood care and education. This is one of the uh, governing body, ECCA. It is going to monitor the quality of the education that is at the foundation of learning. So it not only focuses on normal education, it also focuses on all the components. That is the cognitive level of the child, what is the physical and motor development. So we are not supposed to teach the regular activities. And one more thing, what is the thing, what is the speciality of this NEP with respect to school education is, they are very much interested and very much keen about the teaching of the contents, either it may be literacy or numeracy, it must be in their local language, otherwise regional language. Because we know very well, in our home, we will be speaking over to the children through our mother tongue. Suddenly, if there is a change in language, it is very difficult for them to adapt. So this is the reason why they have mentioned it has to be continue up to grade 3 or grade 5. That is in their local language, otherwise regional language. If and also one more option they have given, a child within the school education, they are supposed to study, are supposed to learn at least 3 regional languages and some international languages, which makes the development of the language proficiency of the children in a better manner. And also, we know very well what is NCRT. They are framing the contents, the pedagogical structure for the existing scenario, and they are also assigned to develop the education structure for this new structure also up to the age of 8. So this foundational literacy and numeracy. So what is the thing is they have tried to focus of the learners, that is at least within a minute they must supposed to read at least 10 to 20 words. So that is the thing. 5 minutes, the time within that 5 minutes time, 35 words or minimum of 25 words must be read by a grade 3 student. So which will be making their language proficiency, improve their vocabulary, everything will be happen. This is the primary thing what is to be achieved by the 2025. They are planning to achieve this by 2025. I hope they have started their working scenario in order to meet out this. And also, when they are starting their school level, that is in the Anganwadi level, at the age of 3, they are going to prepare a play-based module for the students at the basic level, because they are young kids. So for them, it must be adaptable. So they are trying to prepare a module separately for those students. And also they are supposed to create, because technology is growing in a different manner, to combine this technology of the education policies. So they are going to use this Diksha sources, so which contains all the foundational literacy and numbers, how it could be reaching the students. Normally, what we are doing is there will be several websites. It will be having some animation, something and all. Here, what is this new speciality about these web resources? They have done several analysis based on the students, their cognitive skills, their observational skills. Based on that, they have developed this web sources. Then curtailing the dropout rates. So because of this dropouts, as the previous national educational policy, they made the Right to Education Act in the 2009. So automatically what happens, people have realized the basis for education, and because of some force, they have admitted their children to the schools. So the gross enrollment ratio for the 6 to 8, up to 8 standard or up to 6 standard is 90.9. Still, we haven't reached 100%. So that is the motto of NEP 2020. We have to achieve 100% gross enrollment ratio. But what happens after a certain situation, when they are going for 9th to 10th, it is reduced to 79, and when they are going for higher secondary, it is reduced to 56. So this is a scenario what has happened in our country now. So in order to avoid this, that too is especially after the grade 5. So primary classes, they are very good. So higher education, when they are going for high school itself, they are trying to come out of the school. There may be several reasons that has to be analyzed, because it may be case to case, several other components may be there. So for that, in order to avoid dropouts, they have taken some initiatives. The first one is provide effective and sufficient infrastructure. That may be also one of the reasons why this dropouts. The dropouts may be because of the lacking of infrastructure, and the schools may be at some distance level. because the primary school may be at a local point, the high school may be at after a long distance. So it may be feeling difficult for the students to move that. That is maybe also one of the reason. And achieve universal participation, all the students must participate equity. So that is the thing what we are going to specify. So whenever there is a need, whatever may be the execution methodologies, the students must be ready to participate. So there must not be any difference of opinion among the students or between their talents. All the students must be equal, treated equally. And one more thing, an important thing that they are focused is involving community as well as alumni volunteers. So they have given different directions to the youth in order to have a bonding with their schools as well as the universities or colleges where they have studied earlier. And also they are focusing on the NSS and NCC volunteers to make out this as good thing to be turned out in a normal manner, in a successive manner. So, and also involving community people who may be the head of the village or some other people, self-help groups, or bringing all the students, bringing all the children from a village to the school. And what is the reason? Trying to analyze this problem in a micro level so that the solution can be given in a better manner. What the NEP is going to do for the teachers. So we teachers, we have to be in an updated mode always. So whatever we learn so far while getting degree or getting doctorate, that is different, but that will not be suitable for today's execution. The technology growth is different. The subject development is different. So for this, what especially for school teachers they are giving is, if for any of the student who is studying in college or who is doing their higher secondary school education, if they are interested completely in a teaching profession, that too specifically they are focusing on a rural part, those students will be given scholarship in order to get their higher education relating to teaching profession. And one more thing is teacher retention. So this happens not only in schools, in colleges also, whenever this self-financing institutions, including us, we are suffering from this teacher retention. There are several concepts. It is because of the environment or the distance or the quality or maybe because of the monetary benefits, whatever it may be. So many primary levels and secondary levels of problems are there. But this NEP 2020 is trying to retain the teachers. So they are trying to mold the entire school into a residence-based structure. So that will be the outcome of the school education when we have implemented completely the NEP 2020. And also repeated teacher eligibility tests to strengthen the quality of the education, then sharing of teachers across school, that is a faculty sharing program. If a teacher is good in French, that teacher may be shared with the schools which are nearby, so that education, that language proficiency will be given to the students or other students also. And also the teacher will be given more autonomy for the pedagogy. So whatever may be the level, so not all the subjects can be taught in the same aspects. We have to change it. We are trying to implement different models. What are the best practices? So as per the NAC, IKC, NBA, all these people are asking this only. Innovative teaching methodologies, even in higher education. So that is focused more in school education also. And a continuous professional development for the teachers. So in order to develop well in their profession, additional courses or additional trainings like that they have to be provided. The government is planning for all this in a common way, not specifically for a single institution or some other thing. And career management and progression of teachers, because this is also important. So for the person who is working effectively, that recognition must be given. They can be given some administrative positions that That also they are trying to give a framework to all the schools so that they can follow equally. There will not be any discrimination from one school to the other school. So this is the holistic development of learners. So our school students of our nation, after the successful implementation of NEP 2020, they will be learning based on the skills only. So they are not only focused towards learning numbers, alphabets, or something else. So they are completely focused on life skills. They must know the moral values, the human values, how they have to be like that, and a discovery based learning, and fun as well as activities, and sports. Of course, we want it. Then also special skills. So because each and every student will be having some different talents. One may be good in art, and one may be good in music. That identification has to be done, and vocational training, role models. So the vocational training, they are not planning to give it separately. Separately, 1 hour will be given. So this is vocational training. It is not like that. So they are trying to merge with the existing subject itself. For example, they are going to describe about any confectionery products related to that, means they will be implementing these concepts with chemistry, or something like that. So it will be a combination of subject. The students will not be thinking that we are overburdened with many slots in our timetable. So that will not be happen. And role models, that is recognition among the students for different levels. So appreciation is required, and peer tutoring. So continuously monitoring the students, simply mentoring, multidisciplinary. So not only focused towards education, that is pen and paper, the completely reading the entire contents of the textbook. Apart from that, the other contents. So scientific temper, and even they are trying to implement the latest concept of computer technology also, machine learning, apps, and computational skill development to up to their level. And also this is very important because few students, they may be feeling the inferiority complex will be there. So always they will be silent, they will not open their mouth, they will not discuss anything with the faculty as well as their friends. So this has to become normal because this is affecting their entire life. So in order to give the entire content, that is holistic content to a student, to make them as a good citizen. And also one more thing, they must know what is the culture of our country, and how we came across after a long struggle, before independence, after independence, and what is the wealth of our country, how it can be implemented, everything. So this is the major content, how the learning environment will be. And coming to the assessment, we have come across a different method of assessment, but they are not forcing for assessment to the student who are coming under NEP 2020. So grade 3, there will be some assessment in order to identify what is the nature of the kid, how the development is done. So whether the kid is required some special attention, or the normal thing is going on. So for that, the assessment will be there. And after that, you can see the gap. There is no assessment planned for grade 4. So simply they can go for grade 5. So we are not going to specify the students, or in some other words, pressurize the students related to assessments or something that. And also after that, 2 years. So here the model based learning is completely different. The pedagogical structure is also different. The learning methodology is different, and hence the assessment is also different. But when they are going for grade 10 and grade 12, they will be writing for the board exams. These assessments are done by special assessment boards, are framed for school educations. They will be conducting these assessments, and also they have planned to give. They have planned to give a progress card which covers the 360-degree about a student. The progress card, we can say it is as a holistic progress card. It is not going to represent only the marks or the grades of the student. It completely gives about the activities, how good in communication, how he is responding with their friends, even their friends to consider for this progress card, like that. So they are trying to assess a student in a different manner by giving the attention of for a kid in all the directions, that is 360 degree. That is the assessment outcome. And here efficient resource sharing. So normally there will be more schools with appliant funds, even in our nearby town or city, there will be some schools which will be good, and the nearby schools there will be a small school, something like that. Those students will not have that opportunity to enjoy those resources. So for this reasons, they are going to frame clusters. They are trying to identify schools within 5 to 10 kilometers, which is having good resources like labs, libraries, or a play area, or some other infrastructures related. So that schools will be trying to combine as clusters. So they will be sharing their resources. They will be even trying to share their teachers who may be well trained in one subject. Not only in bigger schools, in smaller schools also, the teacher can be shared among the schools, and also self-supporting. So how they independently they can work within the hostel. The hostels can be shared, and housing for staff. That's what I mentioned earlier itself. They are trying to implement in order to maintain the teacher retention. A school with a residential focus, so the teacher will not also think about to move to some other institutions or some other place. So if everything is fine, we will be sticking on to that environment itself. That is one of the point of this NEP by making the clusters. And coming to this, we are supposed to maintain the standards. So the standard setting, already the standards were there, but they are making it as very severe. There will be Department of School Education and the Directorate of School Education as of now. It will be monitored by the state, and some authorities will be identified in order to measure the standards of the schools, minimum standards, basic standards, either related to infrastructure, teachers, or other resources also. And SQAAF, they are supposed to follow the academic standards as well as curriculum. And for assessment, as I said, PARAC is a body which is going to monitor the assessment, review, analysis, because I told earlier that is a 360-degree holistic progress card. So this is done by this body only, and also National Achievement Survey for student learning at different level. So continuously getting feedback from different sort of stakeholders, not only from the students, from their family, from their friends, everything, so that we can easily identify what is the level of the student as of now and what are the remedy that can be done. So this is the National Assessment Center, PARAC, and the National Testing Agency. This is very much going to concentrate about the aptitude skill of each and every student, and they will be testing the students for several groups. Maybe it may be related to sciences, it may be related to arts, languages. All assessments will be taken care by this national testing agencies. And I think I have specified about this 360-degree progress card. It will be comprising of the cognitive, affective, as well as psychomotor domains. So they are very specific about this. And coming to the higher education, so the base education is provided or nurtured to a student in a different level, focusing on the quality education. So what are the other features of NEP 2020? So the quality of the universities, we have to move forward to the next step. Then institutional restructuring, and again holistic as well as multi, are going to the next level here. And optimal learning environment for students, like teacher education and capable faculty, vocational education, and multidisciplinary research foundations, research universities, specifically focusing on national research, and the regulatory systems for higher education, and how the governance will be happen. So the quality, this thing is the basic for this higher education system. And normally we know very well, we are educating our students and we are doing some activities, we are giving project, so many hackathons, so many competitions. We are trying to bring out the talents of each and every student. And what is the thing is, this can be said to be as the NEP principles for higher education also. It is curriculum flexibility and credit transfer. We will see it in detail. And also, they are dismantle UGC as well as AICTE, breaking these two bodies and combining all this into a single component. And the research and innovation, so many research as well as innovation, because the new sharp minds, they are not trying to utilize their opportunity. That is the thing why we have to go more in depth about this. And the holistic and multidisciplinary education. And we have to increase the gross enrollment ratio. That is for higher education. For school education, we have seen how it is reduced. The dropouts are reduced. Comparatively, after higher secondary education, students who are coming to the college education, basic level of education, that is undergraduate degree, is also lacking. So many dropouts are there. And internationalization. Almost a few states have started this. That is inviting foreign universities to combine with their state or state universities. So the faculty exchange program, the education will be in a different manner. So the foreign universities may supposed to offer few courses for our students. So this concept has been started in few states, and especially in Hyderabad and all, they have started. And digitization of teaching learning process. So almost the digital world, we know what are the devices we are using in this digital world, how to make it in a quite a good manner. Not all the courses are offered as teacher faculty communication, teacher student communication. Few courses can be done through distant learning, open learning, normally like what we are doing in MOOCs, SWIME and people like that and all. Technology growth in education, almost in all the subjects we have improved the technology, improve to the next level, that will be done. And encouraged to use Indian languages. So regional languages, they are trying to focus, and the Sanskrit will be the one of the language that will be learned by the students compulsorily. And financial support to assist students for higher education or for best students are in different manner. And skill development and vocational education. This skill development and vocational education is concentrating from the school education itself. So the restructuring, so they are trying to improve the gross enrollment ratio of the student, because it is 26.3 in 2018, and it is to be raised by 50% in 2035. Still, we are below 50%. So they are trying to include more courses, more number of seats in the reputed institutions, and the new institutions may be grown in order to favor these policies. So this is the optimal learning environment, what NEP is going to give. There will not be any difference between the arts, science, as well as the engineering stream. There will be two differentiation. One is the 3-year UG degree and 4-year UG degree. And also one more thing they are very much keen about this is multiple entry as well as multiple exit. It is not a primary content that a student who has joined in first year has to complete his degree in 3 year or 4 years within the same institution itself. And for some other reasons, already the students are good, having enriched in their skills. So there may be any need for their family to develop their financial context. So for that reasons, they may be going for job, or some other reasons maybe there are some health reasons. So what they have decided is, they have decided to break each and every year. It is common for both the 3-year UG degree as well as 4-year UG degree. So for the first year, after completion of first year, they can exit. They can go out of the institution by getting a diploma. And after that, in the second year, I'm speaking about the 3-year UG degree. In the second year, they will be getting advanced diploma. and after completion of 3 years, they will be getting a proper degree. This is the scenario for 3-year UG degree. For 4-year UG degree, first year means diploma, second year is also diploma. For third year, if they are coming out, they will be getting advanced diploma. And after fourth year, they will be getting proper degree. So the credits are based on 1 credit is equal to 1 hour and 2 hours for practical field of as what we are normally executing. So this is the thing, what is going to happen. If a minimum of credits will be allotted for 3-year UG degree as well as 4-year UG degree, if the students have achieved the credits, then automatically they will be getting the degree. So when when we are speaking about this master's course, so students who have studied the 3-year the undergraduate courses, they have to focus 2 years of masters. That is, the last year of the masters will be completely focusing on research. So they have to undergo 2 years of masters. When we are speaking about the student or 4-year UG course, they are doing their UG course for 4 years, and the final year of 4-year degree will be concentrating on research. So in the masters, they can focus on only 1 year. So automatically what happens here, 3 plus 2, otherwise 4 plus 1. Equally, they will be getting the master and they will be coming out. This is the flexibility what is planned. And there are many questions when we are speaking about this multiple entry as well as exit. How it is possible? How we can catch the same student, whether the student will be coming to the same institution or he will be going to some other institution. It happens. So what happens here is they are going to create an academic bank of credits like our CIBIL score. So wherever we are going using our PAN number, we are checking our CIBIL score like this. Each and every student will be having their own academic bank of credits. For example, one college they have studied, they have secured some credits. That credit will be stored in the name of that student. In some other college, they may study 2 or 3 subjects. They might have received some 10 or 20 credits that will be stored. On the whole, based on the credits that are available, whether that student is eligible for 3-year degree or 4-year degree, up to the mark, if they have received the credits, automatically they will be awarding the degree. So practical implementation of this is very high level, but they have implemented this concept compared to the for a world level education. So motivated, energized, capable faculty. So the faculty must be ready to face all these challenges. From the school itself, the kids are going to come to the college in a different manner. Their standards are going to be improved. Likewise, the faculty, they have to improve their standards. They have to upskill their knowledge. So UGC is trying to give a different level of training programs for the focusing on the faculty. Hope everyone knows Atal FTP. How many faculty are have attended? So previously it was completely online, and also using technical teachers training, NEP. They are trying to focus or trying to give more popularized courses and teaching methodologies and several other practices. And also they are going to give special training for different level of best practices in teaching learning practices after analyzing more universities, after analyzing with the cognitive level of the students. So these things will be going to happen. So what happened in the vocational education, what we are going to concentrate? So they are going to concentrate in schools also the same thing. They will be giving a break for taking back in the sense there will be the students will be going to school, but they will not be in a normal teaching method. Apart from that, some other things will be happening. And also internship now we are focusing for our students, undergraduate students also, so completely commonly in internship, and several other options through online as well as through offline in a different manner on different occasional contents they are going to plan. So how to improve the quality or in the fields of research? So they have trying to establish a national research foundation, that is NRF. and it will be the top level for related to the fundings, related to the research program and all. That board will be deciding what are the funds they are going to give and execution. So their primary activities, they will be trying to grant proposals, organizing events or training programs, workshops, something like that and all, and also seed money for the development startups for the academic institutions, and the resource sharing. So, for example, there must be a collaboration between different institutions, different people, different organizations inside as well as outside countries. They are going to refine the policies that will be suitable, that will encourage the research in a different manner. So how this new regulatory system, they have framed a different regulatory system. As mentioned earlier, they are trying to combine the concepts of UGC and AICT and are trying to demolish these two boards itself and going to give us Higher Education Commission of India. Under this umbrella, there will be four regulations, four bodies which are going to concentrate on different contents. So the first one is the National Higher Education Regulatory Council. This will be concentrating on framing the policies as well as regulations. So on what basis we are supposed to go, if there is any change in the regulations, that will be defined by this regulatory council only. And NAC is the National Accreditation Council. This council will be taking care of the accreditation. Normally, what is the thing is, we will be having different accreditation level, different organizations will be giving accreditation, starting from NAC, NBA, ISO, and some other accreditation. So, in order to combine all this, even we are going for NIRF ranking, everything. So, council will be there. This NAC will be trying to implement all this. A single platform is there, a single desk where we will be uploading the contents of the institution, what is happened year wise or 5 years once or 3 years once. Based on that, we will be getting that accreditation. And the Higher Education Grants Council, this completely focus on the fund research, the flow of funds, everything. So what will be the expectation from the HEGC for the institution to be development, infrastructure development, something like that. And general education, this is the council that is completely related to frame the academic structure, academic template, which courses must be there for 3 years course, 4 years course, what sort of research components can be given, what will be the grading, what could be the credits. The template will be given, provided by this General Education Council. So how this leadership or effective governance will be happen? So when this NEP has been started to come out, all the institutions, normally we teaching community, we have started to discuss about what will happen. So even though we are not well known about NEP, we know something related to our component, that is all higher education institutions, they can award their degree and they can autonomously, the autonomy will be given, they can decide their own structure. So like that, we have started to discuss, but for that also they have framed some regulations, and based on that, the execution has to be done. So for each and every self-financing institution, based on their innovation and excellence, how they are performing, they will be given the independence to decide among themselves. The autonomy will be given, and there will be a board of governors. The governors will be deciding and discussion with the execution committee, what is the need, what is things that are not executing. So that will be identified, and by 2035 they are trying to give, there will be more autonomous institutions, the university, more number of private universities, that is deemed universities, they can be identified and they can develop in a different research aspect, and they can award their degree by their own without interfering with the state universities or central university, because normally institutions will be affiliated to the state universities, that has that bonding will be bonding in the sense that level of management will be broken and they can decide on their own. So it depends upon how the institution works, what are their stakeholders' feedback, how the performance is level. Based on the accreditation committee, they will be forming this execution method. So this is about the higher education, how we can be moving to the next level. What are the other things that we are going to follow? So when completing the school education and the college higher education, there are also some other areas which NEP 2020 has to focus. Hope you all know this NEP 2020 is exclusively for art, science, engineering, but they are not concentrating on law as well as medicine. They are trying to frame new policies for those separately. So coming to this professional education, they are focusing this NEP towards agri-related or diary-related, some education also. And also adult education for lifelong wanted, and the promotion of Indian languages, arts and culture, and technology use and integration. Then how this digital education or digital era will be focusing. So when coming to this promoting Indian knowledge systems, I think you uh, have known about this Indian knowledge system, otherwise IKS. They are providing funds only to improve or in order to identify what is the past that was happened, how the things were happened. That is, for example, related to Ayurveda medicine, or how mathematics was start earlier, which language uh, uh, said to be as olden language, what is the proficiency of that language. So this a separate board is there, Indian knowledge system. They are trying to focus on bringing out our culture as well as value projects, different workshops, and what is the different types of identification, trying to implement those concepts in this new era for attaining the goals of NEP. So this is about this Indian knowledge systems, how they are working. And when we are speaking about adult education and lifelong learning, so with the strong foundation in literacy and numbers, and with the life skills, what we are giving in school education and college education and vocational skill development. So once a student or a citizen of India is good in vocational or skill development, they can stand on their own legs. They are not supposed to depend on anyone. So automatically the level of unemployment will be reduced. No need of searching for jobs. We know very well what is the scenario that is happening in the IT field, the recession. So the recession is also affecting. It is becoming a challenging for developing the skills of the students and the basic education as well as continuing education. Basic education we are providing based on the structure what is decided. Continuing education is breaking. That is the reason why this sort of scenario is coming up. Being faculty, we are trying to learn new contents, but this is not happening for all the students. In almost learning, in the sense that must not be any assessment, we have to adapt it to the new technology. That is also one type of learning. So what will be the online digital education and key initiatives? So for the special children who are physically challenged students, they are also treated to be equally when they are coming to school. They have to be given more attention. So this is also we have discussed in school education level. But they have introduced an app, Divya. So in the through this app, they are focusing towards that special children, key science speaking. So on the other activities that are related to the those students are also mentioned. And also, when coming to the key initiatives for online education, it may be of distance learning or open source. I think we are using this YM digital infrastructure. You can say our platform is itself an initiation of this digital infrastructure. And many more online teaching tools and platforms are developing and emerging. So many open sources are available in order to implement these contents. So even though the students are not ready to come to the college or come to attend the class, through this online teaching platform or tools, they can learn. The scenario is going to be hybrid. The students who are coming in person, we have to educate them physically, and few will be attending somewhere else, or the recordings will be given to them. The link may be provided. So this can be the future of this education. And digital repository and tools. So many digital repositories are available. We can get different sort of materials in an arranged manner. So now we are searching in Google and we are trying to get from different websites, but in a nominal mode, like a library, it has to be arranged. And addressing the digital divide, how this technology is dividing, how to bridge the gap, and what are the standards that we have to follow, different models of learning with the support of the technology, and special training, as well as the recognition in terms of monetary benefits to the teachers for updating their skills. And after updating, based on the assessment or based on the teaching methodologies, it can be done. Virtual labs, this is also the scenario what many of the institutions, including our institutions, we have tried during pandemic period, the virtual labs. And this concept is now grown in a different manner in collaboration with the international institutions also. And online assessment as well as examinations. So several monitoring mechanisms are there. They have to monitor. We are not supposed to open any other window. They are strictly monitoring compared to a normal invigilator. The system is completely occupying us without any movement of it. So these are the digital education key initiatives what is taken. So what is taken or what to be taken, what we have discussed, few things related to the school education, college education, as well as the key initiatives. So we have started ultimately, but we don't know that we are following this NEP, but slowly it is emerging into the education field, because it is not a single day work. Overnight, it could not be changed within a single day, because it is a lengthy process. And to make it a success, step by step, they have to be implemented. So how to make it happen, this NEP 2020? So initially the advisory board must be strong. So based on their advices only, the execution is going on. So the advisory board must be very strong. And the next thing is financing. So the good quality requirements, we must be ready to spend more. We must be, in the sense, the government, because they are very specific about free education. And then finally, the implementation will be happen. This is the thing. So how to strengthen this Central Advisory Board of Education? So continuously, the MHRD is monitoring what are the activities very seriously, how the student activities are, how the related bodies, regulatory bodies, accreditation bodies, how they are working, what is happening. Upon certain period, upon several discussions, and they are trying to change the regulations, like how we are changing the syllabus. So this is what happening nowadays. And the Ministry of Human Resource Development is to be redesignated as Ministry of Education soon. So complete focus towards education is going to be provided by this strengthened Central Advisory Board. So the timelines, so as I said earlier, it was implemented, it was started in the year of 2020, but due to the pandemic and several other reasons, we cannot move further. But what is the thing is, we have started to implement the online digital initiatives already. So due to this force, and they have now trying to frame the curriculum to be executed, and several FDPs for training the teachers to get the quality education. Automatically, once the teachers are trained, the outcomes can be as per the expectations. The quality expectations will be there. It is not done only for the school teachers, it is focused for the higher education teachers also. And also, they have planned for 25-26, as mentioned earlier, that is higher education dropout rate must be reduced. The gross enrollment ratio must be increased to 50%. And during 2025, all children who are of age 3 must be in the schools. So this is the thing what they are planning, and at least 50% of the students who have in school, they must know, they must have undergone some vocational education. That is, it may be related to their own interest. Then it is supposed to travel, and as per the plan, this policy will be completely implemented after 2035, and at 2040, it is very sure that this NEP 2020 will be completely implemented. So why this many challenges? What is the thing why we have to travel a long way, 20 years to implement this is, we know the population, what are the hurdles we are going to face, because our nation comprises of different states, different regional languages, different sort of people, and based on their what is the thing is the state policies, they all have to accept. All the states they must be ready to implement these policies. So all this will happen over a period of time. So that is the reason. So why this is going to happen with a lengthy period. But I am sure, being a teacher, if we are joining hands and we can implement it in a quicker time. So what are the challenges? So the main challenge, I have given only 5 challenges that are the main challenges that we have to be considered. So what is the main challenge here is funding. So if 6% of our nation GDP is provided for the education, that fund is allotted for Ministry of Higher Education, or so far called Ministry of Education, then only it is possible to implement this NEP 2020. So, but for the previous year as well as the previous before year also, it is not up to the mark. We are the amount or the budget allotted for this education is not even 2.5, 2.8. That is also one of the reasons why many of our proposals or research activities are not happening. So, for example, if a proposal is called, means more number of faculty we are trying to give, but they are very much specific. They are trying to the funneling is very hard. They have many filters. So in those filters, they are reducing. This is because of lacking of fund, which is allotted by the budget, and they are specifying the reasons that due to the unexpected pandemic, with the vaccines and all given to the entire institutions freely, so costly. So all these activities that makes the delay in funding for this NEP. Once this fund is given, means automatically everything will be coming to normalize. Capacity, I mentioned about the population of India. It is overcrowded, but the resources are under resources. So a private institution, normally a school or a college, will be having enriched with more resources, with a good faculty, with good infrastructure, everything. But when compared to the normal government organization, faculty will be good. But what is the thing is, resources are lack. So when they are forming clusters or sharing of resources, that can be done. But it has to be framed some rules, and it has to be followed in a normal manner. Quality, so the quality has to be changed. So what we are educating, this is not to meet out the global standards. So we normally the faculty has to train in a different manner. The standards has to be kept, the milestones must be kept in a different level. Research promotions and innovations, once we faculty are trained for that, automatically we will be sharing our knowledge with the students, and we will be trying to implement those ideas with the support of the students. Then governance, so they are supposed to give the decentralized system in higher education. As I mentioned, the institutions can give their own degree for their students, like that and all. But a stream of board members will be there to monitor. That is also over. Everything is written in pen and paper. It has to be implemented. The culture is completely learner centric. So they are completely focused on the education, the students education, their background and everything. So the culture has to be changed. Apart from the teacher centric, now more than 50% it will move to the student centric, and again it will be going towards the student centric in a broad manner. So these are the 5 important challenges what NEP is facing while implementing this, because we are practiced with a different style, different culture, and we have to change over to this. So these are the references. So I have mentioned few references only. So many references related to this NEP 2020 is available, and MHRD has given a clear structure, and UGC has given a clear structure about the higher education. What are the policies we are going to implement in this higher education? So that is the thing. And anyhow, this NEP, that is the new education policy, it is trying to change the entire nation into a quality nation, that we can say, because education is the mantra behind this, which will be trying to mold the citizens of any country to become a good person or a good human, with supposed to give the moral values and everything. So thank you very much. If you have any queries, I'm ready to answer.